Frieren, Beyond Journey's End is a beautiful blend of quiet reflection, emotional storytelling, and gripping fantasy. While it isn't a series that leans heavily on action, its moments of combat are thoughtful, intense, and steeped in lore. Magic in this world is less about spectacle and more about purpose, imagination, and experience. And when the strong do clash, it's unforgettable. Welcome back to your Nerdy Show Anime. I'm your host, Anshu Heem. Here's a deep dive into the top 10 strongest characters in Frieren, Beyond Journey's End. Not just in terms of raw power, but also influence, technique, and presence within the story. The Demon King. Let's start at the top. The Demon King is more than just a villain. He's the symbol of everything the hero party spent their lives trying to destroy. His influence spans generations. Even in death, his presence shapes the world. It took the combined effort of 4 of the most legendary figures, Frieren, Himmel, Eisen, and Hyder, to finally bring him down. And even then, it wasn't easy. The Demon King's power wasn't just raw mana, but the way he twisted the world around him. Cities were razed, families wiped out, and darkness loomed for centuries. No single member of the hero party could have defeated him alone. That fact alone solidifies him as the strongest character in terms of impact, threat, and lore. Ciri is an enigma wrapped in ancient magic. She predates most of the characters in the series by hundreds, if not thousands, of years. As Frieren's grandmaster, having taught Flam, Ciri's depth of knowledge is borderline infinite. She's a living relic from the mythical era, and yet she's not frozen in time. Her abilities and intellect continue to shape the current magical world. What makes Ciri terrifying is not just her ancient wisdom, but her mana. Her suppressed mana alone rivals Frieren's full power. That's a staggering comparison. Ciri's full potential is likely something that not even the story's top-tier characters have witnessed. The only reason she didn't face the Demon King herself? She couldn't imagine a peaceful world after his death. Magic in Frieren is as much about imagination as skill, and that philosophical limitation may be the only thing that ever held her back. Frieren, the titular character, is one of the most fascinating protagonists in modern anime. She isn't a flashy mage, but her power is immense and constantly evolving. What makes Frieren so dangerous isn't her destructive force, it's her precision. Having trained under Flam and lived for centuries, Frieren's spell repertoire is vast. She uses everything from obscure utility spells to devastating offensive magic. But what truly elevates her is how smart she is in battle. Frieren doesn't need to win with the biggest blast. She dissects her opponents, finds weaknesses, and uses tactics no one expects. And when she does decide to go all out, the result is overwhelming. Flame. Though long deceased by the time of the main story, Flama's influence is everywhere. She was the bridge between the mythical and modern eras of magic. Her legacy lies in both the literal spells she left behind and in the philosophy she passed to Frieren. Trained by Ciri herself, Flam had an extraordinary grasp of magic. She erected magical barriers so potent that they're still functioning long after her death. But beyond technical prowess, it was Flam's belief in a better world that made her powerful. Her imagination and her ability to visualize peace gave her spells weight. In a world where magic is shaped by the mind, Flam's vision made her a giant. Himmel var en hero I den sannaste meaning. Unlike many of the others on this list, Himmel's strength wasn't rooted in magical power or ancient training. It came from unshakable conviction and skill with a blade. He wasn't the strongest member of the hero party in terms of magical prowess, but Himmel was their leader for a reason. His willpower and charisma turned the tide in battles, inspired nations, and carried the emotional weight of the party through their long journey. His swordsmanship was precise, graceful, and deadly. What elevates Himmel to this position is that even among god-tier mages, he held his own. He faced the Demon King directly, side by side with Frieren, and his presence in battle was just as essential as any spell. As a direct apprentice of Syria, he's been trusted with some of the most critical tasks in the magical world. He oversees the first-class mage exam and is feared even by other high-ranking mages. One of the most striking moments in the series is when Lernen manages to injure Frieren, a feat few can claim. Syria even comments that Lernen is on a comparable power scale to Frieren. That alone earns him a place in the upper echelon. Lernen also displays unique golem magic and advanced strategic thinking. His confidence, skill, and composure in battle place him just under the legendary names in the story. Aura, the Guillotine aura, is chilling in every sense. As one of the 7 sages of destruction, her strength is undeniable. Her unique magic, the Scales of Obedience, allows her to enslave anyone who has less mana than her. She uses this spell to build armies of controlled soldiers, overpowering entire cities with ease. Aura's longevity has allowed her mana reserves to balloon over time, making her more dangerous with each passing century. And while her battle with Frieren ends in her downfall, it's worth noting that the matchup was uniquely bad for Aura. Frieren's ability to suppress her mana made Aura's scale-based system useless. In a different fight, against almost anyone else, Aura's tactics could have easily spelled victory. Her power, cunning, and sheer presence as a villain make her one of the deadliest characters in the story. Ubel is a chaotic force wrapped in an unassuming package. During the first-class mage exam, she emerges as one of the standout characters. What makes Ubel terrifying is how well her magical philosophy aligns with Frieren's world-building. Her magic isn't tied to chance or rituals. It's about belief. If she believes she can cut through something, she will. That turns every fight into a psychological game. The more confident she becomes, the more unstoppable she is. Ubel also thrives in combat. She doesn't just fight well, she enjoys it. That mix of skill, unpredictability, and mental resilience makes her a fighter no one wants to underestimate. She might not yet be on Frieren's level, but her potential is sky high. Denkin represents a different kind of strength, one forged through hardship, regret, and experience. Raised by Mage, the strongest of the 7 sages of destruction, Denkin's early life was shaped by raw power and tragedy. He originally sought power to save his dying wife, but failed. That loss didn't break him, it honed him. Now a top-tier mage within the Empire, Denkin's battle tactics are calculated, brutal, and precise. He was even entrusted with a spell from Syria herself, Mistilzella, which he used to counter Macht's powerful Diagoldze. Considering Macht's overwhelming strength, surviving such a duel alone speaks volumes about Denkin's competence. Stark is the quintessential underdog. He begins his journey filled with fear and doubt, convinced that he's not strong enough to be a true warrior. But battle after battle, he proves otherwise. Trained by Eisen, one of the legendary members of the hero party, Stark has learned to let his body act even when his mind wavers. That battle instinct makes him a surprisingly deadly force on the field. He's been injured time and again, yet always rises. Stark's strength doesn't come from technique or heritage, but from resilience. He's a tank in every sense, soaking damage, learning from every encounter, and landing devastating blows when it matters most. His journey is ongoing, but it's clear he's already one of the strongest warriors of his era. Honorable mentions. Eisen. While not in the current top 10, Eisen was an essential part of the hero party. His physical strength and wisdom made him invaluable in the fight against the Demon King. Hyder. More than comic relief, Hyder's role in supporting the party and Frieren was emotionally and tactically significant. Mage. Though we haven't dived deeply into him in this list, Mage is another of the 7 sages, and could rival the very top contenders if we included more of his feats. Our Nerdy Thoughts Frieren, Beyond Journey's End, may be about time, memory, and quiet growth, but when it comes to strength, the series doesn't hold back. From mythical elves to battle-hardened humans, this world is filled with warriors who are as deep as they are deadly. Each fight, each spell, and each moment of power serves not just the plot, but the emotional weight of the story. And that's what makes the characters of Frieren truly unforgettable.
魔族を殺す魔法